Hi guys, welcome back, and today I am going to give you guys my favorite products of the 2015 year. And I'm going to try and do a couple of these videos. This one today is going to be my favorites. I'm going to try and do the products I guess you could say the products I regretted buying in the 2015 years, or products that just didn't work for me, as well as maybe a couple other things along with it in a little series, depending on my time and how quickly I can get something like that to kind of come out. Believe it or not, 2015 was actually the very first year I actually even bought a high-end item. I only used Drugstore, if I even really bought a whole lot of makeup at all, but maybe one day I'll get into kind of like my story and how I started doing this, and you know, what got me like on the road to makeup, because I did not always like makeup. I will tell you that right now. Makeup was definitely not like a priority of mine when I was younger or anything like that. That's for another day. But I do have a nice, I think I have a nice mix of drugstore and high-end in here for you guys to enjoy. With that said, we are going to get started. I do have it like kind of categorized to keep it a little bit easier, but not a whole lot. So I guess we will start with face first. By far my absolute favorite primer of 2015 was the Smashbox Photo Finish Foundation Primer, the original one that is the clear and silicone-y one. This one was by far my favorite. I just think it worked the best on my face. It does have that, like I said, very silicone feel to it, but it just glided on my skin really nice, and it definitely primed, it filled in my pores, it did everything I needed it to do. This is a full-size item. This one isn't the travel size one. I do have travel size, and I will say, just a little heads up, it is actually cheaper to buy 2 travel sizes of these instead of 1 full size. And if you buy 2 travel size, they actually end up being the exact same amount as 1 full size. I don't know why that is. I don't know why Smashbox did that. Some other companies are also well known to do that, but if you are interested in getting something like this, always check that out. Check out travel size, prices, and volume versus full size, and you would be very surprised, my friend. Moving on to foundation. This may not be a surprise to anyone, but my absolute favorite foundation of the year was Too Faced Born This Way foundation. It did just launch this year. This particular color is in light beige. Here it is. I'm sure you guys have seen this everywhere. Everyone and their mother has this and uses it and talks about it, and it's for a good reason. I absolutely love how weightless and light it feels on my face, and the coverage that it gives you with that like super lightweight feeling is just unreal. It's buildable, it's extremely lightweight, you get great coverage, there's a good color selection out now, and it just leaves my face looking like beautiful skin instead of caked on makeup, and for that it has 100% earned its place in my permanent makeup collection. Next, I'm going to talk about setting sprays or any kind of spray, and my favorite spray that I had this year is the MAC Prep and Prime Fix Plus. I was lucky enough to get my hands on some of the scented ones when they did that temporary launch of the scented ones. I got a citrus scent and a coconut scent, and I absolutely love these. Not only can you use this to prep your skin, you can use it as a finishing spray, and you just spray it on your face and it just blends everything together and just makes it look so fresh and flawless. And I absolutely love this. I use this all the time. I cannot live without it. MAC, please bring the scents back though. I would love to get my hands on another coconut one. But MAC Fix Plus, I don't even think there's anything else on the market exactly like this. I could be wrong. I'm not sure, but this I think might just be like a one-of-a-kind kind of thing. But I absolutely love it, and it is well worth the, I think it's $20. So I know I just started this video off with 3 high-end products, but don't worry because I have an amazing drugstore product coming up next. Moving on to powders and setting powders and all of that, my absolute favorite setting powder of all time. Thank you, Tati, Glam Life Guru, for bringing this up, because I don't know what I was doing before I found this product. And it is the Coty Airspun Loose Face Powder. This one is translucent. They do have a couple different shades, I believe. I got translucent, and this has been my ride or die ever since the day I got it. This is a daily go-to now. It has replaced all my other powders, including my Maybelline Fit Me, which if you guys have been watching my channel for a long time, you know I loved the Maybelline Fit Me powder. This has totally replaced it. I use this just as a general setting powder. I use this under my eyes. I use this to bake. I use this just any kind of powder purpose I need. This is what I use, and I absolutely love it. And the best part about it is this is only $6 in drugstores. So next I am going to move on to palettes, and I only have 2 palettes. I didn't want to go palette crazy. These are the palettes that I cannot live without. These are the palettes that I use every single day. The first palette I want to talk about is the Too Faced Cocoa Contour Palette. As you guys can see, I have absolutely 100% hit pan, especially on this color. The lighter highlight that's called Light Cocoa. It's not quite a white, but it's like a cream, and I just love it. I use it to highlight everywhere. I don't ever use this highlight shade. I don't think a lot of people do. It's just too glittery for me personally. But the other 3 shades I use on a regular basis. This is 100% my go-to for highlighting and contouring. I do not use a lot of cream products, so if I highlight and contour, I usually do only use powder products. And by far, this is one of the best ones I have ever used, hands down. The last palette I want to talk about, of course, is For Eyes. And I just purchased this 3 to 6 months ago. I think I got it at the end of summer, like August, September. And I don't know what I was doing before I got this palette, because this palette is just absolutely remarkable. And it is the original Lorac Pro palette. You have all these beautiful shades. The top row is completely matte. The bottom row is all shimmer, and it is just gorgeous. I mean, these shadows are just absolutely remarkable. I have never touched a palette, in my opinion, that has such creamy, blendable, beautiful shadows. I have the Urban Decay Naked Smoky. I got the Naked Smoky the exact same order I got this, and I reach for this a million times more than I ever reached for that Urban Decay palette. And for the price, this palette I believe is about $10 cheaper than any other high-end palette for the eyes. And I don't know how they do it, because they're just beautiful shadows. I have yet to swatch or to use a Lorac shadow that I just don't absolutely fall in love with immediately. If you are starting in the makeup industry, and I know a lot of people say this, but if you are someone that is interested in starting a career in makeup, this is one of the palettes. I think if you are going to buy any high-end palette, I think this should be your palette, because you have your light, your medium, your darks, your cool tones, your warm tones, your matte, your shimmers. Everything you need is in this palette, and they are just beautiful. If you don't own this and you're interested in it, I highly, highly, highly suggest this palette to anybody. This is the NYX Wonder Pencil. It is in the lightest shade, which this shade is basically like a very light concealer or highlight shade. There it is right there. The reason I love this is think outside of the box with this product. This originally, I believe, was supposed to be just to like spot conceal, spot highlight, like maybe your Cupid's bow or something like that. I use this for pretty much everything I want to do on my face when it comes to a light pencil product. So I will use this to highlight my Cupid's bow area. I will use this to spot conceal. I will use this to highlight my waterline, which I know Tarte sells a product that they say is very similar to this, that is like literally their light rim under eye highlighter or something for about $20. Listen guys, this does the exact same thing as the Tarte one for $2.99, I think. It's really creamy, it's really easy to work with, it is very, very inexpensive, and you can use it for pretty much anything you want on your face, which is why I deemed it one of the best products of 2015 in my book. So next we're going to talk about mascara, and ironically all of my favorite mascaras are all drugstore or drugstore priced mascaras, and 2 of them are actually from Ulta. The 2 that I love that have been my daily go-tos for the past year is the Ulta Amped Lashes Volume and Defining Mascara and the Ulta Legendary Lengthening Mascara. Generally, I use them both every single day. They both do something very different, but just very beautiful to my lashes. So the Ulta Amped Lashes gives you that volume, that little push up for your eyes that you want. I just love what this does. It fills out my lashes. It makes them look more plump and defined. And then I put this on over it and it just makes them look incredibly long. The 2 of them together, I think, are a team that cannot be beat. I've tried high-end mascaras. The only other mascara that I would even consider using is the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara, but still I reach for these 2 a lot more than I even reach for the Better Than Sex. I just think the 2 of these together are a combination that cannot be beat in my book. And these run for $10 a piece at Ulta, but you guys know Ulta always has coupons and deals on their brand products, so you can get a really good deal just for the 2 of these. The other one I want to talk about really quick, I literally just got 2 days ago, so I'm not sure if I even wanted to include it in this video, but I did just really, really enjoy what it did to my lashes. I am wearing it right now, and it is the L'Oreal Power Volume 24-Hour Waterproof Mascara. It looks just like this, and I know everyone talks about a L'Oreal mascara, although I don't have it. I don't think it's this one. I think everyone talks about the original one. I don't know, but I do really, really like the way this makes my lashes look. It does lengthen them. It's not as plumping as these 2 together, but it gives them a really nice definition and lifts them up and gives them a nice length. And it's just nice to have, I think, something different every once in a while. So I think this is going to be that mascara for me. And I just got this on clearance at CVS for like $4. So it was a great deal. I do really, really like it though. So I figured I'd throw it into the video, and if I change my mind, I can always update you guys later. Moving right along, another thing that I think might surprise you guys are these. And these are lip liners, and they are Ulta lip liners. Specifically, they are the Ulta Automatic Lip Liner. As you can see, I have, 5 colors here? I absolutely love these. I've talked about these in a favorites video before. They are very, very creamy. They are cream based. You just twirl it and it goes right up just like that. You can twirl it back down, adjust it to what you need. They go on, look at that. They go on like a dream. And let me tell you, once these guys are on, they do not leave. You will need, it takes a whole lot to get these off your lips. So if I were you and you did want to get these, I would invest in some kind of a lip liner or lipstick remover. I have one that I use specifically just for these, but let me show you guys the swatches because they're absolutely amazing. I think these rival some high-end lip liners, if not beat high-end lip liners out completely. So there's the 5 that I have, and I use these all the time. Like I said, it speaks for themselves. They are incredibly creamy. They are very easy to apply. They last for forever, and they come in a very large variety of shades. Now, these do run for $8 a piece at Ulta, but just like I said with the mascaras, Ulta always has deals where you can get discounts and coupons on Ulta brand products, and for a drugstore price find, you absolutely cannot beat that. Moving on from lip liners, we are going to go into my favorite lipsticks of 2015, and hands down, they are the Milani lipsticks. I probably have about 20 of these, all in varying shades and colors, and they are just absolutely beautiful. I think out of every single one I own, there's 1, maybe 2 that I'm just personally not a fan of. But that doesn't mean it wouldn't work for somebody else. It just didn't work for me personally. And for the price for these, you cannot beat it. These are like $5 a lipstick, and they are just absolutely gorgeous. I don't know how Milani does it. I don't know how they put out a product like this for such a cheap price. But like, look at that. It's like a match made in heaven, the Ulta liners with the Milani lipsticks. They're just absolutely beautiful. That's all I'm even gonna say about that. And to finish up lipsticks, of course 2015 was the year of the liquid matte lipstick. So of course I could not do this video without including some kind of a liquidy lipstick matte type combination thing. So I have tried, I have a really hard time with this. I cannot get on the liquid matte lipstick bandwagon. It just isn't my thing. I have bought and tried so many of them and they just don't work for me. They just don't. They're just very drying on my lips. I think they make my lips look not their best and I just have a really hard time with them. But the one brand that I do really like their formula, it works very well for me, and not to mention it's probably one of the most affordable ones, is of course NYX. So I have a lot of the NYX Soft Matte Lip Creams, the original formula. I have not yet tried the new formula. These are about $5 or $6 in drugstores, and if I'm wearing a liquid matte, this is absolutely what I'm wearing. I think the colors are beautiful. I probably have maybe 5 or 6 of these in varying shades, and there hasn't been one yet that I really have not enjoyed. And you guys know the deal with these. I'm sure almost all of you probably owns at least one of these, and I really enjoy them. I don't find them to be overly drying on my lips. I think they leave a very nice color payoff that's not overly drying or gross looking or anything like that. And that's what I've experienced with a lot of other liquid lipsticks, is that it's very drying, it hurts my lips, and it just doesn't make my lips look good. And so why would you want to have that, right? So the last things I want to talk about are brushes, and I did grab some drugstore brushes and some high-end brushes to share with you guys. And of course the very first thing I'm going to talk about, this is my Ride or Die brush. I literally own like 6 of these and I use them for everything. I use them to contour, I use them to highlight, I use them as with setting powder, with just everything, absolutely everything. And that is the e.l.f. small tapered brush. It looks just like this, and then it is just a very small brush with like almost a tapered angle. And I seriously, this is my everything brush. I have one to contour, one to blush, one to highlight. I use this brush for everything. And what I love about it is its durability. Like I said, I've had this brush for forever. And I still have my original brush, and it is just finally starting to get a little loose in the ferrule. But other than that, it's good to go. They are very durable, they last for forever, and they are extremely cheap. I believe the last time I looked, this is only $3. So I love this brush, and it will always be one of my absolute favorite brushes. Another group of affordable drugstore brushes that no one ever really talks about, and I'm surprised they don't, because they're great brushes, and those are the brushes from a company called EcoTools. And if you haven't heard of EcoTools, they are affordable, but they are also environment friendly a lot of the time. So these are some of the brushes from a collection I have of EcoTools. These are the 2 that I use the most, and they are smaller, as you can see, for like travel, and I love them. They work just as well. They don't actually say what they are supposed to be for. All they say on it is you have this pretty little pattern, which a lot of them do have, and then the bamboo handle and just the name EcoTools somewhere. Mine's pretty much worn off. But I love using these for like bronzer and blush and stuff like that, especially to travel with. And they're super soft, they're dense, they don't fall apart. I've had these for forever, and they have been through some wear and tear with me for sure, and they are holding up just as well as the day I bought them. And they are rather affordable. You can get a 5-piece set very similar to the 2 that I'm holding right here for $10. And that's a lot of brushes, you know what I mean? And just, I like the brand, and I don't know why more people don't talk about EcoTools on YouTube or other beauty type social media mediums, because they are really a great brand. Their brushes are absolutely beautiful, and they last for forever. So these have definitely made my best of 2015 list. The last group of brushes I want to talk about are a little higher end on the scale, and they are all by Sigma. And I wasn't really into brushes Like I said, I just started really doing makeup a lot this year. This is my first real year like doing a whole lot of makeup. So at the time that I started, Sigma was the new Morphe. It was everything Sigma. Everyone was talking about Sigma, doing Sigma this, doing Sigma that. Morphe wasn't even a name that was really being talked about at that time. It was Sigma and MAC, and I do not own any MAC brushes, but I do own some Sigma brushes, and the ones that I do own, I absolutely love and cherish because they are amazing. They truly are. I've never had a problem with shed with Sigma brushes. They're incredibly soft, incredibly durable, and I just love Sigma to pieces. So the three that I really, really love that I use on a daily basis are the three that I'm going to show you right now. And that is the Sigma F86 Tapered Kabuki. It looks just like this, so it is a fatter brush. Very short bristles at the end that taper up. And on the Sigma site, it says to use this wet. That this is good for like foundation, concealer, things of that nature. But I use this dry to set my under eyes for the longest time. I would use this brush to tap in my either translucent setting powder, my compact setting powder, anything like that I would use for under the eyes because it moves around and molds to the contours of your face very easily, and it's just super soft, so it's great for that sensitive under eye area. I just recently started using this for liquid foundation and concealer, and you know what? It works just as well. I was really scared. I have very dry skin, so brushes generally don't work for me for a foundation and concealer. I usually have to use some kind of a sponge. So I was very afraid to use this for its intended purpose, at least from what Sigma said. But I finally gave it a shot and I was very pleasantly surprised. This blends out foundation like a dream, and it does just as well for concealer under the eyes. So now I use this not only for powder but for liquids as well. The next two brushes I want to talk about are both eye blending brushes. Then they are right here. As you can see, one is a full size and one is a travel size. So the smaller one is the Sigma Blending E25, and I got this as a free gift with purchase from the website. It is a little bit of a fatter brush and it has a little bit of a taper, as you can see, but I love this for, you know, any kind of blending crease work, just general crease work to put transition shades on. I love this. It blends out like an absolute dream. It takes very minimal effort on my part to blend out any kind of transition shadow when I'm using this brush. The next one, which you could call, I guess I call it its big sister, it is the Sigma Tapered Blending E35. So you have the Taper Blending E25 and the Tapered Blending E35. So here are the difference. As you can see, one is much more longer and smaller, not as spread out. The other one is a little bit shorter, fatter, and denser. And both of them do an amazing job at blending. I think Sigma really hits the nail on the head when it comes to eyes or brushes in general. If you were to ask me who I would rather, Morphe or Sigma, Sigma hands down. If it came down to the two of them, I would definitely give up the couple extra bucks and get a Sigma brush. I think they're generally just made better for the face, last longer, more durable. I just love these Sigma brushes. And although I only own a few of them, I do own a few others, but these are the ones I use on a day-to-day basis, and I just love them. And that's why they are on this list. The very last thing I am going to talk about, of course, 2015 was also the major year for the sponge, the beauty sponge. So, of course, we have the beauty blender, which everyone talks about and loves. I have a beauty blender, and to be completely honest, I had this guy first, and I still use him more today than I do the beauty blender. And that is the Real Techniques blending sponge. This was the original one I purchased. I purchased the beauty blender very recently, only maybe a month or two ago, and I like this a lot more than I like the beauty blender. I know it's a matter of personal preference. I like this one better. So this is the Real Techniques one. And what I like about this one, very similar to what everyone else likes, is you have the cut off side that is flat that you can use, you know, for the bigger parts of your face, but then you also have the taper pointed side, which is great for those smaller areas like the sides of your nose or under your eyes or anything like that. Not to mention the price. This is only, I think you can get 2 of these for $10, or it retails by itself for about, I think, $5 or $6. And that is it, guys. That is my favorites for the year of 2015. Let me know your favorites down below. And of course, any questions, comments, anything like that, you can also leave them down below. And if you like what I bring to this thing we call YouTube every week, you can always just like or hit that subscribe button. I love you guys, and I'll see you later. Bye.